Breitling is scraping at ideas to be relevant. Yes, that's right. If you've been in watch collecting for quite a long time, then I'm sure you're familiar with the life cycle of Breitling, how they've changed over the years and where they are today. But if you're not, or you haven't paid attention, or maybe you haven't noticed some of these things, Breitling is starting to take plays out of other brands that have gone through similar cycles in bits of boom and bust that are signals for them possibly being in trouble or anticipating that they are in for trouble. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Breitling watches, where they came from, where they are today, and some of the things that they're doing that I think that it just screams that they're going to be desperate soon if they are not already. But before we do that, guys, please do not forget to check out chronograbs.com, where you can buy and sell watches at 0 listing fees and 0% commissions. The great thing is it takes just a minute to post your watch. You can get a fast cash offer from our dealer network where they pay very quickly if you don't want to wait around for a private party. And also, you can buy watches for cheaper and sell them for more because we don't take a commission on these private party transactions. So this is something that I've released as a passion project. I think it's very cool. We have almost 4,000 registered members and over 100,000 visitors per month. So make sure to check this out at chronograbs.com. So in this video, I'm not going to be talking about all the in-depth history of Breitling. I've done this in the past. There's plenty of videos out there. You can read about it. But the short of it is Breitling has been known for their aviation watches. Then there was a period of time around the year 2009, 2008, 2010, where they started producing more and more watches to the point where the market, there was a slowdown post the kind of the economic issues at the time with the real estate and all of that type of a thing. And so you saw Breitling produce more and more watches and try to sell more and more. And unfortunately, it was just a bad time for them. So they were purchased by private equity out of Asia, and they started dumping the watches wholesale into the gray market. And so you saw this watering down of the brand of Breitling, trying to free up cash and get rid of these assets that they were holding and selling them very low on common gray market sellers online and other places around the world. If they needed to move a watch, they were doing that. And so you saw the brand just get so watered down. Now you had a president of the brand or a leader of the brand come in, George Curran, and it was his mission to revitalize the brand, make it relevant and of high quality again. And so we have seen Breitling do so many things over the last 10 years, and they really have done a great job, in my opinion, at bringing the brand back to becoming a luxury watch brand, making very nice, high quality watches, and done a lot of things to modernize the brand and try to build some relevancy once again for them. They've come out with very cool models. They've come out with their Premier line, which people really love. They've come out with, remakes of some of their vintage watches, including the Super Oceans. They've done nice things to the Navitimer line, and they've made so many different options for so many different people looking for so many different things. But that's not always a good thing. Now, I want you to think out there, Breitling. What are the things that come to mind when you're thinking of Breitling today, or just in general, right? What are you thinking in your head? Who is Breitling for? What does the Breitling buyer look like? And consider all the watches that they have in their lineup. Consider their partnerships. Now, historically, people would say aviation. Breitling is for aviation. The Navitimer, okay, reasonable. That makes a lot of sense. The old Willie Breitling guy. But today, Breitling has seemingly partnered with every sport, every organization, and it's to the point where personally, even someone that's been in this industry and business for over a decade and, encroaching even higher than that, I can't decide in my own head who is Breitling for. Consider this. Started with the aviation, and today they have partnerships or models for the NFL, right? They're the official watch brand of the NFL. Who is going to buy a Cleveland Browns Breitling chronomat for $10,000? Is it going to be a watch collector, or is it going to be a Cleveland Browns fan that wants to spend $10,000 on a watch that has their favorite company on it, and it needs to be of that certain quality and caliber? And then that takes you into the Iron Man partnership, which I think is pretty cool because that seemed to have been an underserved or not served market, which I don't mind at all, but that takes you into their motorcycles. They've done a couple of things with the motorcycles, including Triumph. And then that takes you into their surfing watches with their Super Ocean lineup. And then that takes you into rugby. They have rugby watches. And that takes you into so many other things, including making watches for Victoria Beckham, which I guess was a Spice Girl and a pop band, and they put her initials as the seconds hand. And there's been so many more, including the classic cars. And so when Breitling came out with the classic cars, I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of nice. They're kind of going in this Americana direction. But then when you pair in the Victoria Beckham aspect, and then you have some of these other things, I just don't understand if someone wants to make a brand that's going to be instantly recognizable as being for this type of thing, and knowing who the buyer is and fostering that community. How can you foster all of these communities? How can you foster Spice Girls fans with Iron Man and motorcycles and the NFL and rugby and surfers? Are these the same people? No, they're not. And I don't see that the overlap would be that much, right? And it's almost like they're trying to ultra target these very specific niches and try to capture a little bit of markets here and there to really niche down and make their point in these really niche segments, which I don't know works for a company as large as Breitling. I think if they wanted to do one of these things and say, hey, let's make a watch brand for surfers, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Or, hey, let's make a watch brand for motorcycle enthusiasts. Okay, reasonable. But to be able to remain relevant in all of these dissimilar industries and niches and communities, I don't see it working, especially considering where Breitling came from, which is the aviation watch category. And today, that seems to be the smallest part of the brand. How do they take a brand that's based on that and abandon that or put that under the rug in favor of all these other things that are, some of them, kind of emerging, right? Like the surfing community, I imagine, is probably growing. I haven't done the research on the growth of surfing enthusiasts, but I imagine it's probably growing and it's probably bigger than ever, but it's certainly not the NFL. So they're going after these big markets, these small markets, and none of them are where they started, which is what made the brand successful, which was to be the best watch for that category. You think, who's Breitling for? It's for aviation people, enthusiasts, and now it's just kind of for everyone in these small little niches, or someone that just likes the brand just because maybe they like the watch because it looks cool. And so I think that is a big mistake for them, but I can't knock them for doing this. And of course, only they have the data if this is successful or not, right? I don't have their sales data. They have that. I'm not the marketing team, but we have seen over time that marketing people don't always totally understand what makes watch collectors tick, and they do make mistakes. And even outside the watch industry, you see all these kind of PR negative stories about some company trying to do this marketing thing and then it backfiring, right? You saw this with Bud Light. You saw this with, whatever Sydney Sweeney this person is with these jeans. I don't totally understand that one. You saw this with even Cracker Barrel and the logo redesign, to leave totally the brand aesthetic up to marketing, which they may or not be doing, but seemingly to me, it seems like they are. I think completely underserves the watch collector community. And in a time where watch interest is down and watch buying is down and consumer spending is down and luxury purchases are down, you would think that you would want your most loyal customers to be nurtured and fostered, because these are enthusiasts that still want to enjoy their hobby even in a down market. And we're seeing Breitling having done these things in the past, right? They've tried some subscription type models. They've done some things with digitalization of their cards. They've tried different strap endeavors, and I can't knock them for wanting to be quick and nimble and try new things. But when you are a large company and you do have kind of this brand image or reputation to change, I think you have to be very careful in not going into too many directions, because it confuses people like us, the buyers, the collectors, and the enthusiasts that thought of them as this one thing, and now they're all of these other things, and it's just a confusing story. And this is a business where watches are sold on the story. Go to every watch brand out there, they all have a history page. And when your history changes from having a very strong narrative to we do this thing, this is what we're known for, Omega, we put a watch in outer space, we put a watch on the moon, you get it. Easy narrative to follow along. But when it's like, oh, well, we're there for the NFL, we're there for motorcyclists to do these types of things, we're here for rugby, we're here for surfers. Well, who are you not here for, right? I don't know. Am I the crazy one here, guys? Leave in the comments below. What do you think about this? And that takes us into their sunglasses. Now, when a watch brand starts selling sunglasses, for me, this is a major red flag. Now, maybe this is a good thing for them, and maybe people are shifting their interests from buying watches to buying sunglasses. I don't know. I myself have to wear prescription sunglasses, right? So I'm pretty limited in my options. And I live in probably the sunniest place in the United States, and I'm still not going to buy Breitling sunglasses at 70% off. Why? There are sunglasses brands out there. Why am I going to buy a Breitling sunglass, right? Do I want it to match my watch? I don't know, guys. You please tell me. Maybe Breitling will see this and say, oh, hey, what are people saying in the comments below? And maybe we made a mistake here. Or maybe they're selling 1 million sunglasses per month and I'm the wrong one here. And this is something that Tag Heuer did. Now, maybe there's still some licensing out there. I'm not sure. But I think when you start getting away from being, hey, we're a luxury watch brand, we make great watches, we deliver here, we're for this community, and then you're like, well, we also have these luxury goods and those luxury goods, and we have sunglasses, and what else are they going to get into here, right? They might start doing bracelets. They might start doing belts. And this is things that other brands have done in difficult times, more troubling times, and it generally means that someone's going to have to come in later and totally revitalize the brand again, because a watch company can't do everything. And unfortunately, when you have investors and board members and all of these people, some of which, and I'm just speculating, they may not be watch enthusiasts. They may have a watch or think they know a little bit about it. And I'm not saying this at all about the president or the CEO of Breitling, because obviously he knows a ton. Otherwise, I can't imagine he would become the leader of a watch company. But I think it creates a very strange situation where Breitling is forced to start partnering with American Express, which was just announced a day or two ago, to give you these massive point rewards for using your Amex Platinum card in exchange for purchasing a Breitling watch on the Breitling website or a boutique. Now, for me, if a brand has such a strong following and there's a high demand and they have attractive prices that are fair for collectors in the community out there, and people really align themselves with whatever kind of narrative or kind of idea or aesthetic is being sold by the brand, they don't need to do these creative ways of discounting their watches, right? Instead of them saying, hey, instead of them giving you a discount at the boutique, because a lot of boutiques have this no discount policy, now it's like, well, it's not really a discount because, if you have this card, it's this exclusive membership type of a deal. It's a discount any way you look at it, in my opinion. And so when you pair this with the sunglasses and the Amex points, it's really starting to look again where Breitling was once upon a time, which was in need of revitalization. And let's not forget to mention that they do seem to be continuing to increase their prices. So if they don't have the strong following, which is my conjecture, and I don't see it out there, and they continue to raise their prices, and they're coming up with creative ways potentially to offer discounts to try to sell more watches, it seems like they are in possibly a similar or not dissimilar place that they were in when they needed to bring someone in to try to once again recapture the watch collector market. And I have some ideas that they can do right away. I think that they need to start cutting out all these partnerships. I think they're watering themselves down. I think they're starting to spread themselves too thin. Consumer spending is down, and I think it's a bad strategy not having their data. Just my gut feeling and what I've seen play out over the watch industry over the years. I think they need to cut the product line, stop offering so many different options, probably cut out some of the ladies models, because personally I see those selling for pennies on the dollar in the gray market. So I don't imagine that's a big revenue generator for the company, unfortunately, and a lot of ladies have started to wear men's sizes watches. People are going away from the diamond-studded things, the gem-studded things, and they're getting more into just kind of these watches that could be worn by anyone. It's a trend. Don't shoot the messenger. So I think they need to cut the product lines, and I think they do need to focus more on a story of who the watches are for. Aviation might not be the thing for them. People might not be too interested in planes, or maybe people that are interested in planes don't want to buy a watch right now. I don't know that. I haven't done the market research. I hope they have. I would expect them to, but I don't know what they're going here. And I think they just need to cut a lot of the products, less options for people, less tricks, less gimmicks, and probably get rid of these accessories that they're seemingly getting into. I don't see it really helping them in any kind of a way. And I think they need to solidify and strengthen a target market for their watches that people are going to be loyal to, because that's something I've seen over the years with watches. People believe or they buy into a watch brand that somehow they can affiliate themselves or believe in and say, hey, this watch brand or this product makes products for me, and they stay loyal to them. But I think when they're spread thin and they're saying we make products for everyone, and in their own words on their website, they are pushing the boundaries of air, land, and sea. What does that mean? Everything is the air, land, and sea. Are they pushing the boundaries of Earth? Is a luxury watch brand pushing the boundaries of what's possible on the planet Earth? Confusing. Cut the product line up, solidify a community, stick with it. That's what I would do without having any of their financials or any of their market data. But what do you guys think? Are there any Breitling loyalists? Or maybe there's some people out there that agree with what I'm saying. I'd love to see it and hear it in the comments below. Guys, please do not forget to check out chronograbs.com. Quick, easy to buy it and sell watches. 0% commission, 0 listing fees. We'll see you next time. You've been chatting with John P.